The book of Deuteronomy holds a special place in the Hebrew Bible. It presents a collection of speeches and laws delivered by Moses to the Israelites just before they enter the Promised Land. Chapter 19 delves into the cities of refuge, designated safe havens for individuals who had unintentionally killed another person. Imagine a time when life was more precarious and accidents could easily turn fatal. A misplaced axe head, a sudden fall, any of these could result in an unintentional death. The ancient Israelites recognized the need for a system that balanced justice with mercy. The cities of refuge offered protection to those who had taken a life without malicious intent. This sophisticated legal system acknowledged the complexities of human actions, ensuring fairness and protection for all. By exploring the concept of cities of refuge, we gain a deeper understanding of the values and societal structures that shaped ancient Israel. The cities of refuge were not havens for criminals or murderers, but for individuals who had committed accidental homicide. Deuteronomy 19, verse 4, describes a scenario where a person, while working with an axe, accidentally causes the axe head to fly off and strike someone fatally. In such a case, the person responsible was not deemed a murderer, but rather an unfortunate individual caught in a tragic accident. Even unintentional killing carried serious consequences in ancient Israel. The deceased's family might seek revenge, leading to a cycle of violence. To prevent such cycles, the cities of refuge offered sanctuary. Someone who had accidentally killed another could flee to one of these cities and find protection from retaliation. This system allowed time for a fair trial, ensuring justice while preventing unnecessary bloodshed. Deuteronomy 19 provides vivid examples to illustrate unintentional killing and the need for refuge. One scenario depicts a man working in the forest, felling a tree. As he swings his axe, the axe head flies off, striking and killing a nearby worker. This highlights the unpredictable nature of accidents. Another example involves a person pushing another in anger, resulting in an unintended death. The law recognized that not all killings were premeditated acts of violence. Some resulted from unfortunate circumstances or a momentary lapse in judgment. These examples emphasize the importance of the cities of refuge. They provided a safety net for those who, through no fault of their own, faced the dire consequences of an accidental death. Deuteronomy 19, verses 8 and 9, introduces a provision regarding the cities of refuge. If God were to bless the Israelites by expanding their territory, they were obligated to designate 3 more cities as cities of refuge. As the Israelites conquered more land, the distance between cities would increase. This expansion meant that someone who had accidentally killed another person might have to travel a considerable distance to reach a city of refuge. The commandment to establish additional cities ensured that these safe havens remained accessible. This stipulation underscores the compassionate nature of this ancient legal system. By mandating more cities of refuge, the Israelites demonstrated a commitment to ensuring justice and protection for all their people. Deuteronomy 19 makes a clear distinction between unintentional killing and premeditated murder. The cities of refuge were intended solely for those who had committed accidental homicide, not for those who had intentionally taken a life. The text outlines criteria for determining whether a killing was intentional or unintentional. If there was evidence of premeditation, such as lying in wait or using a concealed weapon, the killing was considered murder. Similarly, if the act was fueled by hatred or personal gain, it did not qualify for refuge. In cases of murder, the perpetrator was subject to the full extent of the law, often capital punishment. The cities of refuge offered no protection for those who had deliberately harmed others. This distinction underscores the Israelites' commitment to upholding justice and holding individuals accountable for their actions. Deuteronomy 19 extends beyond the issue of cities of refuge to address other aspects of justice and fairness. The text emphasizes the importance of respecting property rights, even in seemingly minor matters. Deuteronomy 19:14 warns against moving a neighbor's boundary marker, which could result in land disputes. The text also highlights the significance of witnesses in legal proceedings. Deuteronomy 19:15 establishes that an accusation must be supported by at least 2 or 3 witnesses. This requirement aimed to prevent false accusations and ensure judgments were based on reliable evidence. Furthermore, the law addressed the issue of false accusations, outlining severe consequences for those who deliberately gave false testimony. These laws demonstrate a concern for justice that extended to all members of society, rich and poor, powerful and marginalized. The cities of refuge stand as a testament to the Israelites' commitment to balancing justice with mercy. This unique legal concept recognized the complexities of human actions, acknowledging that not all killings were driven by malicious intent. By providing a safe haven for those who had accidentally caused a death, the Israelites sought to prevent cycles of revenge and allow for a fair trial. The principles underlying the cities of refuge resonate even in modern times. While the specific laws may seem archaic, the values of compassion, fairness, and the protection of human life remain relevant. The concept of sanctuary, the importance of due process, and the need to balance punishment with rehabilitation continue to shape legal systems. The cities of refuge remind us that justice is not always about retribution, but also about restoration and the preservation of human dignity. They offer a glimpse into a society grappling with maintaining order and fairness in a world often marked by violence and uncertainty. While the cities of refuge might seem like a relic, the concept of seeking sanctuary continues to resonate. Throughout history, individuals facing persecution, violence, or injustice have sought refuge in various forms. From churches to designated safe zones, the desire for a safe haven remains a powerful human need. The modern refugee crisis highlights the ongoing relevance of seeking sanctuary. Individuals fleeing their homes in search of safety often face perilous journeys and bureaucratic hurdles. Their plight underscores the importance of international cooperation and compassionate policies. The concept of sanctuary has also found expression in movements advocating for the protection of vulnerable populations. Sanctuary cities, for example, offer a degree of protection to undocumented immigrants facing deportation. Though the cities of refuge no longer exist, echoes of their principles can be found in modern legal systems. The concept of manslaughter reflects the ancient distinction between intentional and unintentional killing. Modern legal systems recognize that not all killings are created equal, and the severity of punishment varies. The emphasis on due process and the presumption of innocence until proven guilty can be traced back to the cities of refuge. The requirement for multiple witnesses and the protection against false accusations are cornerstones of modern legal systems. The concept of restorative justice shares similarities with the intent behind the cities of refuge. While primarily serving to protect the unintentional killer, they also provided a space for reflection, reconciliation, and reintegration into society. The evolution from cities of refuge to modern legal systems reflects a broader shift in societal structures. In ancient Israel, the cities of refuge served a vital role in maintaining order and preventing cycles of violence. As societies became more centralized, the need for physical safe havens diminished. Modern justice systems rely on a complex interplay of laws, courts, and law enforcement to address crime. The focus has shifted from personal retribution to a more impartial approach to punishment and rehabilitation. Despite challenges, the legacy of the cities of refuge reminds us that justice is an ongoing pursuit. The principles of compassion, fairness, and the protection of human life continue to inspire efforts to create a more just world. The cities of refuge offer a fascinating glimpse into the legal and social landscape of ancient Israel. They highlight a society grappling with the complexities of human behavior and the need to balance justice with mercy. While the specific practices may seem distant, the underlying values continue to resonate. The concept of seeking sanctuary, the importance of due process, and the recognition that justice should be tempered with compassion transcend time and culture. The legacy of the cities of refuge serves as a reminder of the enduring human quest for a just and equitable society. By understanding the historical context, we gain a deeper appreciation for the evolution of law and the desire for a world where everyone can find refuge in justice and mercy.